Have you ever stared out at the ocean and wondered what secrets lie beneath its waves? For centuries, one name has echoed through history, a whisper of a magnificent civilization swallowed by the sea, Atlantis. Was it just a myth, a cautionary tale spun by the ancient philosopher Plato? Or was it a real place, a technological marvel lost to time? Well, get ready, because we're diving deep into some of the most compelling new evidence and theories that suggest Atlantis was far more than just a legend. Let's start with the source itself. Plato, around 360 BC, he described Atlantis in his dialogues Timaeus and Critias. He painted a picture of a powerful and advanced island nation, located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which we know today as the Strait of Gibraltar. According to Plato, Atlantis was an engineering masterpiece with concentric rings of land and water, magnificent temples, and a thriving society, but their hubris led to their downfall. After a failed attempt to conquer Athens, the island was struck by a cataclysmic event, one terrible night and day of misfortune, and vanished into the depths of the sea. For thousands of years, this was considered pure allegory, a philosophical lesson about the dangers of pride and the ideal state. But what if Plato wasn't just making it up? What if he was recounting a genuine historical event, passed down through generations? This is where our modern-day treasure hunt begins. One of the most tantalizing clues comes not from the ocean, but from the sky. Satellite imagery and advanced seafloor mapping have revealed strange, geometric patterns on the ocean floor in various locations. One particularly fascinating spot is the Richat structure in Mauritania, also known as the Eye of the Sahara. From above, it looks astonishingly like Plato's description of Atlantis, a series of concentric rings. Geologists say it's a natural formation, a collapsed volcanic dome. But the resemblance is uncanny. Could a coastal, water-filled version of this structure have been the basis for the Atlantis story, before geological shifts and desertification changed the landscape forever? Then there's the evidence of ancient cataclysms. Around 12,000 years ago, at the end of the last ice age, the world was a very different place. Sea levels were hundreds of feet lower. Massive coastal plains and islands existed that are now completely submerged. This period, known as the Younger Dryas, was marked by dramatic climate change and catastrophic flooding. Geologists have found evidence of mega tsunamis and rapid sea level rise across the globe. Could one such event have wiped out a sophisticated coastal civilization, exactly as Plato described? This aligns perfectly with his timeline, placing Atlantis around 9,000 years before his own time. Let's travel to the Aegean Sea. The eruption of the Thera volcano on the island of Santorini around 1600 BC was one of the most violent explosions in human history. It utterly devastated the highly advanced Minoan civilization, a culture with incredible art, palaces, and a powerful navy. Many scholars believe the Minoans are the real inspiration for Atlantis. The eruption and subsequent tsunami would have been a terrible night and day of misfortune, and the story could have been passed down through Egyptian records which Plato claimed was his source and altered over time. The timeline doesn't perfectly match Plato's, but the parallels are too strong to ignore. The ruins of Akrotiri, a Minoan city preserved in volcanic ash like Pompeii, give us a breathtaking glimpse into a world that could easily have been mistaken for a mythical paradise. But let's look beyond the Mediterranean. What about the Americas? The legendary explorer and Congressman Ignatius Donnelly, in his 1882 book, Atlantis, the Antediluvian World, proposed that Atlantis was a mid-Atlantic continent that served as a bridge between the Old World and the New. He pointed to similarities in pyramids in Egypt and Mexico, shared flood myths, and linguistic links as proof of a common ancestral civilization. While modern geology has disproven the existence of a sunken continent in the middle of the Atlantic, his ideas sparked a new wave of interest. And that interest has led to incredible underwater discoveries. Off the coast of Bimini in the Bahamas, divers found what's known as the Bimini Road, a series of large, flat limestone blocks arranged in a neat line, stretching for half a mile. Some believe it's a natural rock formation. Others are convinced it's the remnants of an ancient wall or pavement, part of a much larger submerged complex. Similarly, off the coast of Japan, the Yonaguni Monument is a massive underwater rock formation with seemingly carved terraces, steps, and pillars. Is it a natural wonder, or is it a man-made structure from a lost Pacific civilization, a Lemuria or Mu that parallels the Atlantis story? Perhaps the most compelling evidence is not in stone, but in our own DNA and ancient artifacts. Recent genetic studies have traced human migration patterns in unexpected ways, suggesting ancient seafaring capabilities far beyond what we traditionally believed. And then there are the out-of-place artifacts. Think of the Antikythera mechanism, an incredibly complex astronomical calculator recovered from a Greek shipwreck, dating back over 2,000 years. It shows a level of mechanical engineering that we thought was impossible for that era. If they could build that, what else could they build? Could this be a surviving fragment of Atlantean-level technology? So, where does all this leave us? Is Atlantis a single, specific location waiting to be discovered, or is Atlantis a memory? A composite story, woven from the threads of many real-world disasters that befell advanced prehistoric cultures? Perhaps the story of Atlantis isn't about one lost city, but about a lost chapter of human history. A time when our ancestors navigated the globe, built incredible structures, and possessed knowledge that was tragically lost to the tides of time and disaster. The search for Atlantis is more than a quest for sunken treasure. It's a search for ourselves, for our forgotten past.